What up, y'all? Welcome to the Pick and Pop podcast. My name is Adon. I'm here with Seabass, aka Sebastian, aka Blessed.
The living legend.
Yes, sir. And I'm also here with Lepster, aka Lobster, aka Leb Sagarowski.
What's
Welcome
up,
back.
guys? Hope you guys doing well today.
Yes, sir. Pick and Pop. If you're here for the first time, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. Let's just get right into it, man. First topic of the day. Breaking news this week, actually. Mike Budenholzer. He's out as the Bucks head coach. Fired, dismissed, whatever you want to call it. He's out. How are you guys feeling about the future? Is this the right move by the Bucks? Is this like a premature move, or did they make the right move right now in the second round of playoffs?
I'm here. I live in Wisconsin, and a lot of people don't know that now. You do. A lot of people here, they're not mad about the move. A lot of people are blaming the coach for the loss. And when it comes to the end of it, he didn't make adjustments, right? I would have been okay if he did something different, and it didn't work. But at the end of the day, it looked like he just sat there and let Jimmy buckets get 40 points a game. He didn't do nothing about it. He didn't make no moves. He didn't. But you let Jimmy beat you, and you did nothing. So, end of the day, I think was the right move, just because you can't just let someone beat you the same way. You got to make a change. You got to do something different, and he didn't. Unfortunately, he was going under the screen every time. That's what he was telling his team to do. I don't know if his team said, "Oh, I'm not going to listen to the coach." But what I was seeing was they went to screen every time. Holiday was getting killed by the screen. Holiday was getting killed by Jimmy Butler. And the stat that really caught my eye is that the whole series, Jimmy averaged pretty much 38 points a game, and you double team him 10 times. That's a bad look. You got to get the ball out of his hands. And as a coach, if you don't see that, you'll not call it double teams. You're not calling different defenses. That's on you. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, this move cost him his job, and it's part of life, And we make bad moves in our job, we get fired. He made a bad move. He didn't get a second chance. He had a great team, the number one team in the league, and couldn't make it happen. So he's a great coach, but sad to see him go. But he made a bad. It was a bad series for him. He got outplayed, and this cost him his job.
Yeah, that's one of Pop's guys too. That's a Spurs guy too. People forget
Coach
that.
Bud.
Yeah, he's actually a four-time champion with the Spurs. Actually, as an assistant coach. Oh, no, three-time, 1-1 with the Bucks for four-time champion altogether.
Yeah, those Hawks teams were always good too. When you had them, Paul Millsap, Al Horford.
The biggest thing I think was this Giannis. Did Giannis not want him? That's what I'm thinking. Did Giannis not want him? Because whatever Giannis gets, but maybe Giannis was not happy, but someone was not happy in the organization, and he was gone.
Yeah. Seabass, how you feeling?
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's a tough decision, but I mean, it makes sense. It's understandable. I mean, I feel like they had a couple years in the last couple years, minus obviously the year they won a championship, where they really underperformed. And they got a top seed. They lost to who did they lose to in the bubble? They lost to Miami. They had a high seed. I mean, again, they lost to Miami twice already. Jimmy Butler is
they're 1-2 against Miami.
Bucks slayer, but it's tough. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of factors that go into him, man. Like it's more than just. He didn't adjust. I mean, Coach Bud, he's always been like that. He's always been someone he's just going to stick to the scheme, whether it works or not. And, it just happened to have worked for him most of the time throughout his career. He's had good players. He's really put in some good schemes. I'm not going to sit here and say he's a bad coach because he's a great coach. He's I'd still say he's one of the best 15 coaches in the NBA easily.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
I think sometimes it comes down to, I remember watching a video or hearing about it. I can't remember where it's from, but just about coaching fatigue and how it plays a role. And it makes sense. You can be the best coach in the world. And that's why it's so, it's crazy when coaches like Pop and Phil Jackson and all those guys. I mean, even Phil Jackson went through it though, but probably Popovich is the only coach that hasn't somehow went through it. But I feel like after a certain level of success, the players start to get not like they kind of drift away from the coach a little bit because it's like, all right, we have the system run, we know what we need to do, whatever, we'll just go out there. And then when things just start going wrong, all that just compiles. You're losing or you lose, all the frustration piles on. Then the coach is telling you, hey, we'll do this. I feel like it's just frustrations rise and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So kind of after a certain point with the coach, it's just like a maxing out point. They already won a championship. There's not much else they can do.
Right,
So I
right.
feel like it was just best for both parties. I think it's best for Coach Bud. He can go to another team if he wants to. Of course, obviously we
Oh,
know
easily.
the
Yeah.
situation with his brother. If he's in that state of mind right now, if he even wants to coach or not, maybe that played a factor. Who knows? But
Right.
he can easily get another job at another team. He's, like I said, one of the top 15 coaches. Most teams would easily fire their coach to get him. I would easily fire Darvin Ham to take him. I'll take Frank
Yeah.
Vogel back, and I'll take 100% Nick Nurse. I will personally
Oh, yeah.
drive Darvin Ham to the airport and pick up Nick Nurse and bring him to the practice facility.
Yeah, man.
But
LAX, man. Yep.
yeah, man, it's a tough situation, but I think it's best for both parties. Like I said, the Bucks can go in a different direction.
Yeah.
Ideally, you keep the same core, I feel like, and just kind of build
Right.
on that because you can't really do much. They got some big
Mm.
contracts tied up, Middleton, Drew Holiday, and it's not like they were a bad
Yeah.
team. They were the
I
number one
think,
seed for a reason. Like,
right.
you
I
don't
think
just
Brook
luck
Lopez
into the
too.
number one seed.
Going back
Right.
to
You
Yeah,
know.
Brook Lopez is an upcoming free agent too,
Yeah.
so that's gonna be
Yeah.
big. But
going back to what
yeah,
Seabass was saying is, even though I know he doesn't like Ham as a coach too much, but Ham played big role in the Bucks. Giannis was happy with Ham there, and then
yeah,
some people I know, some people Lebs have his own connections saying
Yeah.
Giannis was
Yeah.
just not as happy when Ham was not there. So did that play a
Yeah.
role? So we
I was
we,
gonna
we
say
yeah.
just
that
don't
too.
know.
Ham
I
was a
heard
great
Darvin Ham
assistant
was
coach
big there.
for sure.
Yeah. Now I was gonna say my bad, Seabass. I was gonna say I heard Darvin Ham was a big influence there too, and I wonder if that because he was on the coaching staff I think for all 4 years when he was with the Bucks until
Yeah.
that last season. Yeah,
Mhm.
right. So I
Mhm.
don't know if that also like Lev said. I don't know if that had to do with Budenholzer getting fired.
I don't know
If
if he came in with Coach Bud, but I know he came like the year or two after Coach Bud. I know he's been there for a while.
yeah, he was with the Hawks, so he's with that Hawks team with Budenholzer too. So
Yeah, he's a
yeah,
great assistant coach like that.
yeah, oh
You
yeah,
give him props. There's certain guys that they're meant to be assistant coaches. They specialize in one thing, whether defense or offense,
yeah,
and coaching is more than just strategy too. Having your scheme and stuff. You got to be able to sit there and motivate guys. I mean, you're talking about
yeah,
grown men, 30, 35,
right,
25 plus grown men with, most of the guys have families, they have wives, they have children. They got
yeah,
priorities, family and stuff. They got a lot of stuff going on. These are grown men. It's not like high school, it's not like college. You're not going to sit there and like bully these young kids into doing what you want. It's like
mm-hmm.
more of a respect factor you gotta have. You gotta have
Right,
the
right, right.
respect of the team, but also enough respect and trust for them to trust in running your scheme so it works well. Like
Exactly.
it's different in that nature. College you can bully these young kids and be like, hey, give me all these drop and give me some suicides, do all this and this, and still that fear
Right.
factor to get them to do that. But in the NBA, they're not gonna do that. These guys are getting paid 20, 30, 40, 50 million now. You know, like they're not gonna sit there and take that. They're like, I'm going home, I'm getting, I got my wife, my kids, I got
Yeah,
$80 million
yeah.
in the bank, like I don't have to listen to this. Like I don't care what you
Right.
say. I'm an NBA, I know more than you, stuff like that. So a lot of things play into factor like that. But
Yeah, especially if you're not winning too. Like, 4 to
yeah,
5 seasons with Budenholzer there. They only won one championship. The other three, I think it was like first round exits, semifinals, second round exits, conference finals exit, I think with the I think Raptors beat them, right? It was conference finals exit,
I think
maybe.
so.
Yeah, but it's definitely a lot of losses there. I mean, I think I saw the record, it was like 17 and 22 with Budenholzer in the playoffs. So they were under 500 team in the playoffs. And honestly, I think I will say this. I feel like Budenholzer did get the most out of Giannis. I feel like I feel like he definitely, was there when he was there. He was there when he got the MVPs. And I remember when Jason Kidd was trying to run him at point guard, and they were trying to do a lot of things with Giannis. Couldn't figure it out. Budenholzer was the guy to figure it out. But I will say this: I just don't think that he used Giannis enough in the fourth quarter. Like when he did have him those 4 or 5 years, he was there. I just felt like their best lineups was Brook Lopez, Middleton, Jrue Holiday, and they put two other guys out there, but they don't have Giannis. Like Giannis not on the floor at the end of the game, not trusting his shot, not trusting his offense, not trusting his space in the floor. So it's a lot of questions going on with Budenholzer. I think just from an offensive minded with Giannis, and just honestly, is that team even like the right team? Because I know you said bring the pieces back together. I could see it breaking up. Like you have Giannis already, and then you have Bobby Portis coming off the bench. Like maybe, and you have Brook Lopez. You have three good big men. But I feel like in today's game, you don't really need that many good players on the team. Like at that, like stacked at a position. You could trade Bobby Portis around, trade Brook Lopez around. Maybe not trade Brook Lopez, he's a great defender, but maybe like trade Bobby Portis
Brook
around, bring
he just had
some,
a defensive
get
player
a
of the year
starter in
caliber
there.
year.
Oh yeah, Brook Lopez had a phenomenal year. He had a phenomenal year. I think like almost like what 3 blocks a game, 2.5 blocks a game.
Yeah, yeah, he was
Yeah,
averaging about 3 for most of the year. He was
I,
phenomenal. He's
I
been really good since they got him. It's just
yeah,
this year he had more stats, so
yeah.
it
I
looked
don't
better in
think
general. But he's been really good since they got
I
him.
don't think they should
yeah,
split it
yeah.
up. If you see every first Giannis being hurt for the first 3 games did not help the Bucks,
That hurt them a
so
lot. That did hurt
that
them a
hurt.
lot.
And
Yeah,
even when he came back, you're not 100%. Anyone that have back injuries, he was literally
yeah,
game 4. He was walking back and forth. He couldn't even sit because how much pain he was. So there is that.
yeah, yeah.
But unfortunately, when it comes to the coach, when you're leading the whole game and it's to the fourth quarter and you losing 10, 12-point leads, it
Right,
come down
right.
to you. Sooner or later, you got to figure out. You got to tell you got to have something. Call timeout and run the
Yeah,
play. But I literally see him call timeout and they get a turnover the next possession. So things like that
yeah.
really are looking
I
at
mean,
he wasn't the
honestly,
coach. That's just tough because it
yeah,
wasn't that the Heat were better than the Bucks. It's just that series, the Heat beat the Bucks. If they play another series, the Bucks might win. And a lot of people say if Giannis was healthy, he might have not got fired. But end of the day, you can't control injuries. Giannis got hurt, you lost,
yeah,
you got fired, you got outcoached. That simple.
yeah. And also though, like going back to Darvin Ham, though, losing Darvin Ham was tough though. He's like a defensive minded coach, which is why the Lakers got him as the head coach, which is why the Lakers defense looked so good in that game 1 against the Warriors was because of Darvin Ham. And I mean, Darvin Ham was a big influence of them winning that championship against the Suns. And I think not having him there, I think kind of like messed up the defense in a way. Like Brook Lopez was amazing all year, but I feel like the defensive identity as a team wasn't there. And honestly, just it was honestly tough for Budenholzer though, to be honest. Like just I mean, Middleton was banged up all year. I mean, they didn't have a full starting five all year. Grayson Allen was going in and out of the starting lineup all season. Um, I mean, Jrue Holiday had a career year though. He had to use an All Star, so it's good stuff. Like I don't think it was a wasted season. I think it was a great season for the Bucks. I think Budenholzer was
It
a
was a
guy.
great
And I
season.
think yeah, it's a great season. I mean, I just think Budenholzer really, didn't get the right treatment, getting fired like right here, right now, second round. Like I think they were gonna fire him later on, maybe. Or like they should have fired him like a year before, but firing him at this time, like right now, like and maybe they think like there's gonna be a lot of coaching candidates out there with I mean Udoka just got signed with Houston and I think they're making on one of these assistant coaches, Chris Quinn, Milwaukee's Bucks assistant coach, maybe sliding up in there, getting that head coaching job. So I don't know if they probably feel like there's a candidate right now, which is probably why they made the Budenholzer move this soon. But yeah, it's a tough situation,
I,
especially just with everything going on with his family and
yeah.
just the whole timing it was
I
terrible.
I feel bad that his brother died, so like rest in peace. I hope his family's doing okay. But when it comes to basketball,
Yeah,
you know me. I've talked all
yeah,
the time. I
yeah,
like winners. You can't
yeah,
win,
yeah, yeah.
get out of here. In
Right.
Wisconsin,
Yeah,
they're not happy losing in the first round. They're not.
yeah,
They're not happy campers here right now. So
yeah,
unfortunately, he lost. He had his opportunity. You have the best player in the NBA. Bye
yeah,
bye. See you later. Like it's that simple.
I
yeah.
will say this though.
Right.
I don't know how much of a hot take this will be, but Giannis would not be an MVP without Coach Bud. He really
Oh,
unlocked
not a chance.
Giannis.
Not a
He
chance.
brought the perfect spacing around Giannis, bringing in Brook Lopez, guys like Middleton. He put
Right.
the right spacing around Giannis to really allow Giannis to be himself. Because before he came, Jason Kidd, he was throwing out lineups like Jabari Parker as small forward, Don Maker. He was throwing
Yeah,
John Henson next to him, like all these crazy long lineups that, in theory, were good defensively, but the spacing was atrocious. Dude. Everybody was sitting on the paint. It was like four guys in the paint.
I
So
remember
obviously
that.
Giannis couldn't do nothing. He was playing on the perimeter. He was playing like a 3-and-D wing his first couple years in the NBA. So he
Yeah,
wasn't developing the way he needed to until maybe the last year of Jason Kidd, but until Coach Bud come, he really developed him, allowed him to play more free, play within space, and that unlocked Giannis. He kept growing,
yeah.
and he's the player he is now.
He did. No, I mean Bunos is a great coach. Let's not get it twisted. He's a great coach. He had a great season. Even though his playoff success wasn't there his 5 years with the Bucks, he still had a good regular season success. And he was, like you said, he was great at developing Giannis and just, the guys on that team and Grayson Allen. Pat Connaughton. I mean, these guys have made a name for themselves off Budenholzer and the kind of minutes he put them into and the rotations he put out there. So you got to give him credit. I mean, like in the heat of the moment, no pun intended saying the heat of the moment, but in the heat of the moment, the Heat versus the Bucks in that last second shot, where Grayson Allen didn't get the shot off and the Bucks couldn't, find a shot. I mean, you got
They
to
had
give credit.
timeouts left. They
Yeah,
had two timeouts left, I
he
believe.
had two timeouts, but I think in the heat of the moment, it's like, you're just not thinking that. You're just thinking they had a shot, and like if you go back to the play, they had a couple of times at find an open shot. Miami Heat was just great at defending, and they just were there. Great communication by the Heat, but the Bucks had some opportunities that looked like could have went their way.
I
So
will I will finish on this. I've
yeah,
said
yeah,
it with other players. Now say there's regular season coaches and there's playoff coaches. He's just
yeah.
not a playoff coach. He haven't proven to me that he's a playoff coach. If you have a losing
I mean,
record,
they won a championship. It's not
if
like they
you
never
got a
won. If he
losing
didn't win a
record,
championship, it'd be a different story. But I mean, they won
Right,
a
right.
championship.
if
Yeah,
you
he
have
have
a
one.
losing record in the playoffs, sorry, you got a losing
17 and
record.
22 in the record in the playoffs for Mike
That
Budenholzer.
is not good. 17-22 is not a winning formula. And he's that winning the championship, meaning most of his wins came that year.
Yeah,
Other
I'll
years,
say this real
first
quick
round
before we move
exits.
on.
yeah,
Real
yeah, yeah.
quick, like I said, I think, like I said, the best thing was for them to both to move on. And I think a lot of times with some coaches, even the good ones, which is why it's such an anomaly. Like Greg Popovich has been a coach for so long with the same team. It's just the NBA changes. Every couple years, there's always new schemes and things going on. And I feel like some coaches, it's harder for them to adapt while they're in the heat of the moment in the season and stuff. So I feel like we've seen it happen a good amount of times where coaches they get fired, take a year or two to just take some time off, learn from other coaches and stuff, change their scheme around, learn new things, adapt more to the new NBA, and then they have success. We look at Tom Thibodeau; he
Yeah.
took a year or two off from after getting fired from Minnesota. He comes to New
Right,
York,
right.
and he's a different coach now than he was
Oh
with
yeah,
Minnesota and Chicago. He's adapted a little bit more closer to the modern game. And then the
definitely.
same thing with guys like Frank Vogel did that after he got fired from the Magic, came to the Lakers.
Right.
I think he'll benefit from that. Jason Kidd did that after he got fired. Came back last year with the Mavericks. He actually looked like a good coach. So
I
I think
agree.
that'll
I agree.
benefit him. If he wants to take time off, he'll come back. He'll still be a good coach if he wants to come back regardless. But I think stuff like that. It's just like I said, fatigue within the organization. But
And we don't
best
know.
move for both sides.
He might have said he didn't want to coach no more. He might have said he needed some time off with his family. So we don't know what happened.
Yeah, Mike Budenholzer, 5 years with the Bucks, one championship, four-time champ, 3 rings with the Spurs, one with the Bucks. We're gonna see where he goes and when it's gonna happen, where it's gonna be. But Mike Budenholzer is definitely gonna find a home soon.
There's like
Um,
10, 12 teams in the NBA that would kill for at least one ring.
would love him. Would love to have him around.
We wish
So
him
could
the
definitely see him
best.
going somewhere. Yeah, he's definitely gonna be somewhere very soon. But speaking of guys out the league, the Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks. How are we feeling about Dillon Brooks, man? Former Pac-12 Player of the Year, 6 years, I think, with the Grizzlies. And yeah, the Grizzlies said they don't want to have anything to do with him. He's gone. He's out of there. Um, they told the whole world basically that they don't want him back. So yeah, what's next for Dillon Brooks? Is he out the league? Is his career? Is his NBA career? I don't think his career is over. But is his NBA career over? What do you guys
It
think?
looks
Let me
bad.
say one thing. Dylan
Yeah,
Brooks, I hope you're learning Chinese.
really. Dang. That's how you guys feel about it.
I,
I
I,
don't.
I'll, I just say this.
I'll go. I'll go after you. Go left.
Okay, it just looks bad because Memphis could have said this in the end of the season, like nothing happened. Could have said, "Oh, we're not signing him." A lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
players don't get signed. It happens. You move on to different teams, but to
Right.
come out a couple of days after you're out the game, and the thing said he wasn't even allowed back in the locker room. He got escorted out separately.
Yeah.
Things like saying like you are definitely not coming back. Definitely, no way
Oh
So the
you're
yeah.
tweet,
coming
the
back.
tweet from Sham said that he would not be back under any circumstances.
None. Zero.
Under any, they're like, even if this guy wants to play with us for free, dude, we're not taking him. Like literally, under any circumstances, he's out.
Yeah, he would not be back
They're gonna have a
whatsoever.
wanted picture on front of the Grizzlies facility. He's not allowed in ever again, dude. He's out.
It's crazy, man. Like when
I,
I first saw it, I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, go ahead, left.
I was like, that's
I'll
crazy. That
just
was
say this:
aggressive phrasing, but that was
it
crazy.
looks bad for
Yeah.
his. He said he wanted 40 from LeBron. After he said that, LeBron gave him 20 and 20. That equals 40. Game 5, they got 40 balled. That equals 40.
Yeah.
Brooks never got 40 in this series, and now he's going home.
Right.
His new home might be China. He might be going to China.
I hate to tell you all this. He will be in
Taiwan.
the NBA. Hey, I'm gonna tell you this. He will be in the NBA next year. Dillon Brooks is NBA. Dillon Brooks is. Hold on.
He's down by 11.
Hold on, man. All right, Dillon Brooks, man. He is an NBA player. He's an NBA guy. He belongs in the league. 6 solid seasons with the Grizzlies. You know, like I think people forget what he did at Oregon. You know, he was a great shot creator at Oregon. Played along Jordan Bell, Tyler Dorsey. He had a squad over there. Like he was doing his thing, playing against UCLA in the Pac-12.
That was a nice Oregon team.
Like I said before, Pac-12 Player of the Year. Yeah, he knows how to play the game of basketball. These guys don't come in the NBA
against Lonzo Ball, UCLA.
playing against Lonzo. Look, these guys don't come into the NBA, not averaging 20 or 30 points to get there. These guys, they know how to score. You know, they're saying Dillon Brooks has no offense. He knows how to score the ball. I believe he just needs the right opportunity, the right place. Would love to have him in Miami. Would love to have him in Miami. Love it.
I was just about to say, I saw a tweet that said that the betting odds for his next landing spot, Miami is a favorite right now for him to go.
Yeah, and we would love him.
Honestly, I think that would be a good fit. Honestly, think I can see that happening.
Yeah.
And Taiwan Sharks are the second odds. Taiwan. They got
high shots are calling.
Nah, man. Dillon Brooks.
I heard they got a max offer for him. I heard they offered him a 4-year, $100 million contract.
I don't know if you guys saw it. They said,
Eric Bledsoe's on the team. Eric Bledsoe's in Shanghai. He's literally on that team right now.
Dillon Brooks is gonna be on the contender next year. It's Miami, Lakers, Boston, Milwaukee. He's going somewhere. He's staying in the NBA. I don't know what happened with the Grizzlies, but he's staying with them. He's staying in the NBA.
Eric Bledsoe times Dillon Brooks in China is like Shaq and Kobe. They're gonna dominate over there.
Oh, he might join Dwight Howard. They might average 50 points together.
Oh, yeah, he can go play with Dwight in Taiwan. He can go over there. Dwight had like 30 and 20 and like 10 3-pointers. He was in a 3-point contest over there. Dude. They literally just let him do whatever. Dwight is having the time of his life over there.
Man.
They just let Dwight do whatever he wants. This dude was dribbling the ball up the court like Giannis, getting turnovers. I saw his stat line one day. I remember when he went viral for like one game in Taiwan. He had like 30, 25, like 5 threes.
I saw that. Yeah,
he was like 5 for 25 from the field, like 2 for 20 from the 3-point line, like 10 turnovers. It was the worst stat line I've ever seen.
Terrible.
Howard, man.
Look, I'm telling you guys right now, I don't know what happened with the Grizzlies. I don't know. But we talk, like I told you before, we're talking Pac-12 Player of the Year, Dillon Brooks. He's going somewhere. He's staying in the NBA. That's that. Yeah, man, Dillon Brooks. But
look, all memes aside, he's definitely going to be in the NBA next year. He's not obviously going to China. He's not that bad of a player, but I will say I can see him being out the league after this year if he goes somewhere and he doesn't improve. Because the one thing with him is his ego. We talked about, off camera and stuff. I think he said there was a tweet that said that he wanted more shots, that he wasn't getting enough shots, that he was being used as just a 3D guy. And, he needs to really get more into that role. He needs to carve out his role, and he needs to really buy into it. He needs to be like a Trevor Ariza. He needs to be one of those 3-and-D guys because he has a role. He can do that. Right. He's a good defender. He's a good on-ball defender. He can shoot well enough. Definitely. It's just he has that mindset where he thinks that he should be getting like a number one creator role where he should be shooting like 15, 16 shots a night. There was literally games where he was shooting more shots than John Moran. And that should never happen. That should never happen.
I hear both of you. I hear you, Seabass. I hear you, Lester. He was shooting 15, 16, 17 shots a game at Oregon, though.
Shouldn't be.
At Oregon, he was shooting no shots, though. He was making he was going toe-to-toe with Lonzo. I don't think
the NBA and college is a different game. Like, in college, you can put up shots and you can do that.
No, I agree.
But there's guys, you got to carve out a role in the NBA. Not everyone's going to be a scorer. And I think he just has that mentality where, hey, I need to score to be impactful. And you don't. He can be impactful. He can be just as impactful. He can be more impactful if he takes less shots. He's more efficient, and he's just focusing on defense and doing the little things. Carve out a role. Be like a Alex Caruso kind of guy. Like a guy that just does everything. Those guys are impactful. Just because you're not scoring does not mean you're not good. That's that's a narrative that used to fly around, but a lot more people are more knowledgeable now, and they're more aware of guys like that. that play
Yeah,
their
yeah.
role. They know how impactful they are. You know, guys like Dorian Finney-Smith, guys 3-and-D guys, legit 3-and-D guys that impact the game. You need those guys to win.
Bullock.
You do. Bullock, you
Reggie
love
Bullock last year
Bullock.
for the
Yeah, yeah,
Mavericks,
yeah.
left
Bullock is
crusader
amazing, man.
player.
Bullock, man.
If he can just go to a team, that's why I think Miami would be a good fit because
Oh
they
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
put up with that. If he's gonna bring his ego there and be like, "Hey, I need
Right.
17, 18 shots. Hey, I need to be shooting more than Jimmy. Hey, I need to be shooting more than Tyler Hero," they're not
Yeah,
gonna let
yeah.
that fly. If he
Nah,
goes there,
not
he
at all.
takes 7, 8 shots. He's efficient. You know, he'll be fine. Buy in on defense. They're gonna get him to buy in on defense. Spoelstra gets everyone to play defense, dude. He
Yeah.
gets the most out of everyone that he can. So I
Yeah,
think
he'll
that
be
would be a good
solid.
fit. Honestly, go to
Yeah.
Miami. They need more wing depth too. He could start there. He could start year one next to Jimmy.
And
He
if
could
he
be a good
wants
fit.
and
Probably
he
Tyler
wants
Hero play
18
point guard to
shots,
Jimmy.
he will be going to China with his 18 shots.
Oh man.
But
Look,
that is the thing. Like I said, if he goes next year, he does the same thing. He's like, "Hey, I need these shots," and he's terrible, whatever. He's gonna be out
yeah.
the league because no one's gonna want to put up with that. No one's
Right,
gonna
right.
want to put up with all the baggage and all the history he already has. And
Yeah.
like I said, if you're talking all this trash, you need to back it up. Like I said, there's guys that they talk trash and stuff throughout the league, and nobody, you know, people love those guys. Guys, like Kevin Garnett, all those guys.
Right.
People
Those
love
guys are
when
missing
people
in the
talk
league
trash.
though. And that's what he
Yeah,
was
run
trying
our
to do for the
test.
Grizzlies, yeah.
And I didn't mind that. I didn't mind the trash
Yeah.
talking at all. I had no problem with it. The only thing is that
He didn't
it
back it
does
up.
get to a point where it's just embarrassing, where you're talking all this trash,
Yeah. I mean,
especially pointing it to like a guy like
yeah.
LeBron, and then A, you lose the series, and
He was
then
just trying to
B,
give the Grizzlies an
he plays
identity
bad
though.
himself.
He was trying to give the Grizzlies an identity, trying to give them that toughness. Every team needs that, and that's what he was trying to bring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have no problem with that. There's guys in the
Right, right.
NBA that are like that, but you got to
Yeah.
back it up. And he just wasn't. It was just bad. Like I said, he's just throwing up bad shots. Like I said, if he was
Yeah.
going out there, he was really gritting and grinding the old Grizzlies, you know, like
Got
focusing
you.
on defense, hitting
Mm-hmm.
some shots. I'd be fine with it. But like I said, this guy, he'll go out there. He's just one of those players where he'll go out there intentionally. He'll take a bad shot just because he hasn't shot in 5 minutes. Like, hey, I need
Yeah,
a
yeah,
shot.
yeah.
Let me just throw up a heat check 3-pointer with this guy all over me because I need just to shoot the ball. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, like for
Yeah.
what? That's not winning basketball, and that's why the Grizzlies' ceiling was always limited. If they
Yeah.
replaced him with OG Anunoby, they probably beat us and they win that series. If they
Yeah.
get a real 3-and-D guy, they're gonna be scary. Grizzlies have a good team. It's just Dillon Brooks has been holding them back for the last couple of years, man.
Yeah, I understand that. Hey, I would say this though, Dylan Brooks, man. Like, if this is the end of his career, which I don't think it is, I think he's definitely gonna go somewhere else, contender, find a spot somewhere on any NBA roster that would love to have him. But I will say this: he had a hell of a career though. 6 years with the Grizzlies, second round pick. I mean, he was in that 2019 draft. And I mean, the number the fifth pick in that drive, you know, Seabass, Jared Culver. Where is he at? Jared Culver is out the league. Dylan Brooks is still in the league. So, I mean, he's doing better than a lot of these lottery picks. So you got to give Dylan Brooks a lot of credit for just staying in the
Yeah,
league this
definitely.
long. If this is the end, yeah. But Dylan Brooks, man, 6 years with the Grizzlies. We're gonna see where he goes next. Left just said he goes to China. Seabass said he needs to learn Chinese. I think he doesn't. I mean, he could always learn Chinese, and you could always learn as many languages as you want. But I do think he's gonna stay in the NBA. I do believe he's gonna stay in the NBA. But yeah, man, 8 teams left in the playoffs, though, man. 16 teams to start. Now we cut it down to 8.
Woo!
You know, we got the
The
East and
best
the
time of the
West
year.
looking really great right now. I mean, who's your favorite coming out the East for both of you guys? Let's start with the East, since the West won last year.
I'll go. I think
Yeah.
it's tough because there's a lot of
Mhm.
injuries right now. Jimmy
Right.
Butler's injured, and Embiid is injured. So,
Yeah.
first of all, I hope everyone gets healthy.
Yeah. Of
That's
course.
first.
Of course.
First of all, right now, if the Boston Celtics can buy in, I think they can win it all.
Wow, you going Boston? I think Boston's overrated. I'll be honest.
But
But
the thing that worries me about the Celtics is I don't think they're buy it. They bought in. Unfortunately, I don't think some of the players want to be there. If
yeah,
you guys see this, some of the players don't want to be there, and that's what's worrying me about the Boston Celtics a lot. But what I saw yesterday, they can play defense. If they actually want to be there, they can play defense. They're a
yeah.
great team. It comes down to Jaylen Brown. Half the time, Jaylen
Jaylen
Brown
Brown.
doesn't want to be there. You saw it game one; he gave up on the team.
Yeah, yeah,
But if Jaylen Brown, Tatum, and Smart can buy in, play defense because they can actually play really good defense, they could win it all. But if they play the way they played game one and let James Harden go for a 40 piece, it's gonna be tough. But I think whoever wins that series goes to the the finals. I don't see the Knicks going to the finals, and I don't see the Heat going to the finals. So, but I don't know who's going to win that series. It's going to come down to if Embiid is healthy. Like I said, if Embiid is 100% healthy, I'm going with the Sixers. Especially if
Yeah.
James Harden is going to play the way he did Game 1, I'm
Oh
definitely
yeah.
going with the Sixers. But right now, it's too many
Yeah.
injuries, and I'm picking the Celtics.
Leps is picking the Celtics with Blake Griffin as their leading scorer.
BG. They
No,
got
I'm
Luke
playing. I'm
Cornett.
playing. Yeah, shout out to Blake Griffin. Yeah.
I don't think Embiid's not healthy though. He said that his injury supposedly was supposed to be a 4 to 6 week injury, but obviously he came back earlier
Yeah.
because they, as the playoffs, they need to.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
did not look healthy last night.
He looks
Watching that
hurt.
game. We're recording this on Thursday, May 4th, just so people know when I refer to last night. But he
Yeah.
did not look good. I mean, we'll see how he looks game 3. Obviously, he still needs to get back into conditioning and stuff and get
Yeah.
back to the MVP level that he is because he just
Right.
won MVP. But
He's the
he
MVP,
did not
baby.
look good,
Yep.
man. He did not look good. Paul Reed played out there. Paul Reed's minutes looked way better. He looked way more energized and stuff. Obviously, Paul Reed is not better than Joel Embiid, but
Yeah.
Paul
See
Reed
this
looked a
guy,
lot better
Paul.
at least yesterday. Paul Reed, man, hey, he's been good,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he looked better last night than Embiid did. Obviously, like I said, I'm not saying before people take it out of context. Obviously, Paul Reed is not better than Joel Embiid. Emphasize on a not, but
Right.
just
Right. Right.
strictly yesterday in game 1, he's been phenomenal. He's looked really good, and like I said, yesterday at least the minutes were better with him on the court than they were with Embiid. So we'll see how that looks. Obviously, I don't expect that to continue, but if Embiid's not healthy, maybe it does continue. Then, it just creates a problem for the Sixers. So we'll see.
Yeah. Man. Yeah. I don't believe in Boston. I don't think Boston has. I don't think Boston's that deep this year. I think like losing Gallinari early on before the season even started was huge loss. Huge loss. Brogdon had a great year, but I don't know. Grant Williams been on and off. Robert Williams been in and out the lineup. Al Horford looked like he took a step back this year, getting older.
He definitely did.
Yeah, and then Jason Tatum, like I just feel like he's so inconsistent. Like one day he'll have 20, next game he'll have 7. Like I can never read him. Jaylen Brown, I don't know. I just don't know about the Celtics. They just like I don't know. They just don't seem like
Yeah, they got some questions
they
still.
got some questions. I don't know. Like I don't think they're gonna have the same
I
team
think
next
Rob
year.
Williams is the big one. His injuries this year, I feel like he just hasn't for whatever reason. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't think he's fully recovered because he does not look the same that he did last year, and he was a big
not at
reason why
all.
they made it that far in the finals because he's just
Yeah,
so good, so defensive, so versatile. He can play literally anything on the defensive end. He can play high end pick and rolls. He can play back if you need him to. He can switch if you need
yeah,
him to. He's athletic to play on the perimeter. Great rim protector. He can do everything on defense. He was their
right.
defensive weapon. So I
He
feel like we
was.
haven't
Yeah.
quite seen that from him this year. So I'm pretty sure he's not completely healthy. So
Mm,
I mean that's a big part too of why their defense has been inconsistent too. This year they've been better offensively than they were defensively when last year was the opposite. They were struggling on offense to score, but they
yeah.
were elite defensively. They were one of the best defensive teams in like a long time last year.
Oh yeah.
And this year
Right.
it's kind of
Yeah.
been the opposite. This year they've been one of the best offensive teams, but they've struggled on defense. And a
Right.
big part of that is because Rob Williams has been in and out the lineup the whole year.
Yeah. And he lost Udoka too. Udoka was big for that defense too.
Yeah.
He made
Yeah,
that play.
Doka's more a defensive minded coach and Joe
Yeah.
Mazzulla is more like an offensive guy.
He was responsible for a lot of the defensive schemes with the Spurs back in the day. So a lot of people forget that. But yeah, who you got though? Seabass, like your favorite out the East. I know Lepster got Boston.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I was talking bad about how Boston is, but they're still my favorite, man. I just can't go
Wow.
away with their talent, man. I just can't.
Yeah.
I think the big
No matter how
reason,
much they've regressed, I still feel like they have the best combination of talent that can take you to the finals. I think Philly's not healthy. Like I said, I don't think Embiid's going to be healthy most of the series, so I just can't see
Right.
them losing this series.
Okay.
And then you're talking about going against Miami.
Hmm.
I think we'll see how Jimmy looks the next couple of games. I think maybe if Jimmy can
Yeah.
get back to that level, if the injury's not that bad, the ankle, then I think
Which is not.
maybe
I
I
don't think
might
it is.
flip. I might be okay with picking Miami, but
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
right now
Yeah.
the safest pick for me right now, I think it's got to be Boston. Man, I love their talent. They have the most talented team in NBA. It's just a matter of inconsistencies and injuries throwing them off. But they can throw everything, man. They can go small. They can go big, oversized. They can switch on defense. They can do everything on
Yeah.
offense. They have multiple shot creators. They have shooting. They have everything you literally need in a championship team. It's just a matter of them
Yeah.
being consistent, executing
Yeah.
all that on both sides, staying healthy. So
Six man of the year, Malcolm Brogdon.
Malcolm Brogdon. I mean, if you have
Yeah,
Malcolm Brogdon as your sixth man, I mean,
yeah.
you know your
Nicknamed the
team is
president.
stacked, man.
Yeah, shout out to Malcolm Brogdon.
President.
I think the
I
biggest
mean,
thing,
Brogdon's been averaging like 18, 19, and 7 for the last 3, 4 years with the Pacers. And now he's coming off the
Yeah,
bench. So
the
right. I'm
biggest
glad he's
thing,
with the Celtics. Great home for him.
the biggest thing I still
Great
got
reps.
Boston is just because who they have to play. Like I said,
Mm,
I don't trust the Heat.
mm,
It's just they don't have a second
mm.
scorer, and I will go back to if your second best player, you can't win. And a
Right,
big
right.
reason
I'm buying
why,
in on the Heat, man. The Heat are looking good.
biggest,
I'm
Yeah,
being
yeah,
convinced on the Heat.
and then the
yeah.
worst thing, if Jimmy Butler don't play Game 3, I don't know if he's gonna play. If he
Okay.
doesn't play Game 3, and the next win Game 3, and that go
Yeah,
to a
yeah.
7-game series, that is not good for Jimmy Butler ankle.
I think Jimmy's playing game 3. I think they just sat him
Yeah.
out because they're like, hey, we stole game 1. We're fine going 1-1 back to 3-4 back to Miami, so we'll let them sit. And
Yeah.
they fought, man. They almost won that game.
Yep. He's definitely playing game 3.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
buying in Miami though. I got to tell you right now,
Buy
AD, before
in,
you go.
buy
I know
in.
you're
I'm
gonna
telling
pick
you,
Miami.
buy
I know
in,
you're gonna pick
please.
Miami right now.
You already know
And
I'm
like,
picking Miami.
I just wanted a bigger sample size. That's all I wanted.
Yeah,
Because look, I know Spo has it. I know I love Spo. I always trust Spo. It's just the
always.
talent. It just didn't seem there. Like, and they were so inconsistent. Most of the guys, like Duncan, wasn't good this year. Caleb was
Yeah.
struggling a little bit, but in the playoffs, they've all found their groove, and that's all
Yep.
that matters. You know, as long as you have your groove going in the playoffs, that's all that matters. And that
Yeah.
game 2 really sold it for me because without Jimmy, they were there, man, and that sold
Right
it because
there.
that's all I needed to see.
Caleb brought in
I
22
just
points in
needed to
that
know.
game.
I
Yeah.
just needed to know that their core and their everyone else besides Jimmy could step up.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was my only worry because I was
Another
like, if they
big one
get
from
blown
Gabe
out,
Vincent. Yeah.
I was like, if they get blown out game 2, then that's
Right.
exactly what I expected. But they fought and they almost won. That showed me everything I needed to know. I'm buying in Miami. If
Yeah.
Jimmy's healthy, like I said, I might pick them over Boston, but
Yeah.
I just need to see how his ankle is. But I'm sold, man. I'm bought in
Look,
on
you
Miami.
said it yourself, C-Baz. If you got the best player in the playoffs, you gotta win. You have to win the series. You gotta
Got
win
the
it.
best player and the best coach. It's hard to lose in a playoff series.
That's what I'm saying. You already know I'm picking Miami. They're the team. They're the team to beat right now. They got the best player. They got Jimmy Butler. They got the best coach, Erik Spoelstra. They got the best vet, Udonis Haslam. They got the best team. This is literally the best team right now in the playoffs. I won't say they were the best team coming into the playoffs. No, the Bucks.
They're out right now.
Yeah, I mean they're out, but the Suns coming in. I mean they were like 7-0 coming into it with KD, Booker, and Chris Porter were 7-0 together. So I mean not coming in. Denver had a amazing team, complete team over there, but yeah, I won't say that they were the best team coming in, but I've been saying it all season that the Miami Heat are championship contenders. They've been contenders all year, and they're finally getting to this point now. I know you touched on Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson is the first one in the gym and the last one leaving. Spo has been saying it all season long. Every time Duncan has a game and he's like struggling, like they'll like be a reporter like, oh, why is Duncan Robinson doing this, doing that, blah blah blah. Spo has always said it. Well, Duncan Robinson's the first one in the gym. He's the last one out because he is. He's working on his game. These Miami Heat players work on their game every single day, like just like every other NBA player. But the Miami Heat, the coach is just different. The coach is different over there, man. Like whatever they're feeding in South Beach is something special because these guys find their maximum potential with the Miami Heat. Gabe Vincent, I mean, he's taking on that role as the second leading
Gabe
scorer
Vincent is playing the best basketball of his career right now, man.
of his career. Shout out to UC Santa Barbara. That's where he
I
went.
was just about to say that.
But
You see Santa Barbara
you know
product.
what I'm saying? 4 years, like he's that guy.
Gabe Vincent, I will say that he's been really underrated the last 2, 3 years, man. He's been a really good,
Yes,
and I feel like he can be a really good backup point guard for a long time. He's a
definitely.
guy that he grit and grinds, man. He's like a mini Kyle Lowry. Like he'll shoot from 3,
Yeah,
he'll take shots out the dribble, he'll
right.
defend hard on defense. Like he's probably not gonna be a long term starter for a team, but he can be a really
Okay.
quality backup point guard for a long time. I like him a
Yeah.
lot.
No, I remember his first game. I remember I told you his first game against the Clippers. I remember I was like, Gabe Vincent. You guys like, who's that? And I was like, that's Gabe Vincent right there. Look, now he's here, making big plays in the playoffs. Huge series against the Bucks those last 2 games, and now he's playing against the
Haywood
Knicks, playing
Highsmith's been
amazing.
getting some minutes. That's
I,
that's what
I
I love
love
about
Hayward
Miami,
Highsmith.
man.
Shout out to Hayward Highsmith.
They get these guys for like 2, 3 years, these undrafted guys, and
Yeah,
then they just let them sit and develop. Go throw them in the G League, let
right.
them play, let them get confident, let
Yeah,
them take a year to 2 to develop. Learn the culture, learn the schemes, learn the
right.
defense, and everything. Learn from these guys, then just throw them out there and they're ready. Haywood, all these guys, they've
Yeah,
done it so many times. It's insane, dude. I'll never
yeah.
forget. Um, Before last year. after I forgot who you guys had, but you guys lost like Crowder and Olenek, like all these guys
Yeah,
minus
yeah,
Leonard,
yeah.
and I was like, damn, they lost like all their depth. I'm like, this
Right,
is tough. They're gonna, they have no one left,
right.
And then out of nowhere, Max Strus,
Max,
Gabe
I told you
Vincent,
about Max Truess,
Duncan
Gabe
Robinson,
Vincent. Yep, I
three of these
told you
guys
about those
pop up
two.
quality role players, and I'm
Yeah,
like, this is crazy. Do they do it every year? And I literally said it before. I was like, watch one of these random guys like Max Strus or
yeah.
somebody
No,
pop
I've
up
been
because
called this.
Strus had some good. He had some good games the year before. I was
Yeah,
like,
he
watch
did.
one of these
He had a
guys
great
pop
summer
off
league.
and
Yeah,
become like an actual rotational guy. And then that's what they did, man. They do it every year.
yeah.
Now Haywood Highsmith's the new guy. He's looking like he's
Oh
gonna be
yeah,
a rotational guy for the next 1 or 2 years. But
yeah. Haywood Highsmith, he's known for blocking D Wade's dunk in his last game. He's on the Sixers actually against D
Haywood
Wade in his last
Highsmith,
game. Yeah, now he's with the Heat. Did that for a reason. We love that
they
he
got
did
two
that
bigs. They're
with the Heat
hoping
now.
makes that jump. Orlando Robinson and
Yeah. Oh, I like Orlando
I
Robinson. I like
forgot.
Jamal Cain. I like Jamal Cain a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yurtseven.
Yo,
Oh, the
Yurt.
Jamal Kenya
I
too.
like Yurt too.
Yurt,
I'm a
Yurt hasn't
big Yurt
developed how
fan.
they
You know
want
I
him.
love Yurt.
He's
I've
been
been
getting
screaming
hurt.
for Yurt to get some PT, but
And the
I mean,
European
I remember
superstar is
Yurt. I
still there.
remember watching that summer league game. I remember telling you that. Hey, I was like, hey, this guy, he's pretty good. Yurtseven. I'm gonna be surprised if he makes the roster, and he did. You
yeah.
guys signed him to a 2-way deal.
Now I've
Yeah,
been
he's
big
not
on
bad too.
Yurt. He's just not in the right conditioning right now to play because he's been out like the whole
Yeah,
year. But
he's been hurt for a while.
yeah, shout out to Yurt. I mean, Jovic too. Jovic, I can't wait for Jovic next year.
Oh yeah,
I don't think
Jovic.
he's gonna play in this
He'll
playoffs, but
maybe another year, man. I can't wait to see him.
yeah, just
I
having him on
cannot
the
wait
bench
to see
is
him.
so great. Yeah,
What I'm
Like
hearing
the
is
way they use Duncan Robinson. Picture Duncan Robinson, but that can actually dribble, man. He's gonna be scary.
oh yeah, yeah.
what I'm hearing
And
is a
2 inches
lot of
taller.
disrespect
Good
going to New York. Oh, talking about all these teams. I didn't hear
Nah,
one person
no
talk about the
disrespect.
Knicks. This
No disrespect.
series,
I mean, we're
this
talking
series
about who.
is not over yet. Everyone
Yeah,
is
yeah, no,
taking
but we're just talking about who's
the
our favorite out the East. Yeah, I'm not hating on the Knicks
oh
at all. Yeah,
I'm hearing people say, "Oh, the Heat gonna win in 5. Heat gonna win in 6." It's 1-1.
I told you
It's a
guys
tie.
5.
It's a tie
I'm sticking to
series.
5.
Going
Yeah,
back, Jalen Brunson is a demon.
yeah.
Randall is finally getting healthy, and RJ
Right, right.
Barrett is coming to his own. Like I said,
Yeah.
I still have New York stand up. I
Still
still
have
got the
to be
Knicks in
there.
7. And
Yeah, I'm not mad at that take. I am not mad at that
I
take at
think
all. I'm not
Bam is
mad.
I think Bam is gonna prove me right and is gonna show
Yeah,
AD that he can't be the second place player in the team because
yeah.
this is what I saw from the second game. Bam, you
Okay.
score 15 points, you got to do more. If he scored 20, 25,
Yeah,
they win the game. Bam can't
yeah.
be that second best player, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'll say this right now. Spo continues to say it. I continue to tell you guys this. I continue to tell. I'm gonna tell Pick and Pop right now that everyone just thinks that Bam is the second scorer. That's just his role. That's not his role. His role is to win. His role is to win the game. He's trying to compete to the highest level. That's what he does every night. That's why he's the MVP of his team. Is because he does every little thing to win. He's not about the stats. He's not about stats at all. I mean, he had some of the biggest plays in
He's
that
their
Bucks
anchor.
series. I told you guys already. He's been huge in the Knicks series. He's been shutting down Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson has not done anything this series, and that's because of Bam. Like
Yeah, Bam has been boxing out like crazy. Like his
like
numbers,
crazy,
rebound
yeah.
numbers aren't insanely high, but kind of like
Right.
Brook Lopez, like he just boxes out and everyone else gets the rebounds
Yeah.
because he just boxes out the main guy. And he's done a much better job on Mitch Robinson than I thought.
Definitely no.
Robinson still, I think he had like 4 or 5 offensive rebounds last game, which is still
Yeah.
crazy. But he only had like 8-ish total rebounds or something. Like Bam has done a much better job than I thought he would have been able to on Mitchell Robinson. Like I said, that was gonna be the X factor for Miami.
Yeah.
I will say, like I said, I think, assuming I'm not gonna change it right now, I'm not gonna go crazy. But
Right.
if Jimmy Butler's fully healthy, I'm going Miami in 5. I'm all in, man.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
telling
all
you,
in.
I'm
If
excited.
Jimmy is healthy, though,
Yeah.
that game 2, I'm telling you, man, that
Yeah.
sold it for me, man. The Knicks could not beat them fully healthy with a fully healthy Randall back. They
Yeah.
couldn't beat
Yeah.
them without Jimmy Butler.
Hey, glad he
And
Julius
Miami
Randle out
Heat
there,
kept them
by the way.
close.
Yeah.
And they kept them close. Kevin Love played really good. Caleb Martin was amazing. Duncan
Yeah.
played good. Gabe Vincent
Yep.
was amazing. All these guys stepped up. And I'm just thinking, like, if they can play 75% of that and you get your MVP, Jimmy Butler, back, I
Yeah.
don't see
Yeah.
any way the Knicks could beat them at all.
Right. Man. Lester got the Celtics coming out the East, you know. He said he has the Knicks in 7. I like that. But he has the Celtics coming out the East. Seabass has the Celtics coming out the East. I got the Heat coming out the East. But going to the West, though. Let's go to the West Coast, man.
I want to go.
Let's go to the West Coast. Let's go to the West Coast. Hold on, Lester. Let's go to the West Coast. Look at Lester's getting ready. He's getting ready. He likes this one. He's ready for this one. West Coast, man. West side, you know.
Couple
Who's coming
things here.
out the West? Who's coming out the West? Who's your favorite?
couple things here. One,
Yeah.
I need Perkins to go on national television and apologize to the Joker. I want to hear a national apology saying the only reason he won is because he's white, he sucks. People say he's Mr. Fat Boy, he can't jump, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
He is the best player in the NBA.
Talk about it.
In that series, he's been playing better than KD, better than Booker, and he's making Aiden look like he's from 5th grade, cannot play no basketball.
Yeah. He's killing
40 and 20, that's pretty much what he got. And they got to be careful because if it's not careful, I'll come back 1 second. If careful, this is going to be that.
There goes
the Bruins are coming. Man. The Bruins are coming.
Lester has brought out the broom. Yeah.
If they're not careful and they lose game 3, it might be night. And it might be. I got the Nuggets going all the way. They're outpowering them. Yeah. The fact that they kept the Suns under 90 points and they got KD and Booker, that's scary. Yeah. That is scary. And the fact that Joker, he looks like he's not even trying. He's getting 40 points, not trying.
In his sleep. He's bullying Aiden.
He is bullying him. He's literally putting it up, getting the ball back, putting it up, got the ball back, bucket. Yeah. There's some positions that Aiden doesn't even want to go in the paint. He's like, I don't want to smoke. I don't want to smoke.
Yeah. Seabass is itching. He's itching to say something. What you got to say, Seabass?
No, I like that, though. I think the Nuggets have been underrated all year. I think people have not taken them seriously because they've underperformed the last couple of years. They've had good records and stuff, but I've been saying for a long time, and I know AD said it. I remember, we recorded an off-season episode around there when they got KCP and Bruce Brown. And I was like, these guys, if they stay healthy, I mean, these two guys, I mean, it sounded crazy in the time, but these two guys are going to be the ones that take them to that next level because that's what they've been missing, man. Perimeter defense. You can play good team defense, like the Kings, but there's a ceiling. If you have no actual good individual perimeter defenders, there's a ceiling because once it comes down to it, the last 2-3 minutes, close game, guys are just going to straight up out there one-on-one, your best guy against our best guy. And if you don't have someone to at least contain that, it's going to be hard. These guys, top NBA players in NBA now, the offensive guys, they're going to hit tough shots. They're going to make these shots. So you need guys to be able to help out on that difference a little bit. And KCP and Bruce Brown have been huge for them, man. Their defense has been amazing against Phoenix the first 2 games so far.
And Aaron Gordon, been huge. He's been making KD. He's been making KD work on the defense, and he's bullying KD. If you look, he said, "I'm stronger than you, and I'm going to prove I'm stronger than you." And especially when KD tried to, I don't know if you guys saw, KD tried to switch on the Joker, and the Joker had a smile. He's like, "Give me the ball. Give me the ball, please." He said, "This little boy trying to guard." He said, "Give me the ball." That's why I like it.
Right. Yeah.
I got a quick little live update. Lakers are down by 18.
Wow. That's something. What quarter?
Still the 3rd quarter early.
Okay, it's early. It's early.
4 points.
Clay was 25.
Okay. Yeah, I predicted a big one from Clay today.
But I mean, it's fine. I expected to lose this game. We took game 1.
Yeah.
As long as we take care of home court, we win game 3 and 4, man, we'll be good.
Right. Hey, but back to the Nuggets, though, man. Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Seabass. Bruce Brown, KCP, we talked about it. Love those pickups. Yeah, like you said, Lester, AG, man, Aaron Gordon's been big. Oh, man, he's been bullying KD in the post, bullying him. Michael Porter Jr. actually does not get enough credit either. I think people expecting him to be such an offensive weapon or be that number 1 pick you were supposed to be back in college. Like, he's actually been a really solid defender. And I think the best thing about Michael Porter Jr. this year is he's bought into his role. He knows what his role is. Yeah, he knows he's not going to be the guy shooting the ball. He gave those rings off to Jamal Murray and Jokic, and he's just there. He's ready to shoot whenever he needs to, but he's there to win. You can tell he's bought in. Aaron Gordon's bought in. Mike Malone, I mean, should have never got fired from the Kings. I mean, this is
he shouldn't have.
No,
he overperformed with that. I think that was the best record they've had until now.
Yeah,
Mike Malone has been a fantastic coach for the last couple of years. He's had this Nuggets team with no perimeter defenders. Their best
Yep.
perimeter defender the last couple of years is like Jamal Murray, and
Yeah,
they're always
yeah.
top 10 defenses. I'm like,
Right. Will
this
Barton,
guy's
you
such
know,
a good
yeah.
coach. Yeah, Will Barton.
Will the
Yeah.
thrill. Will the
What
thrill.
a thrill. That's what a thrill, man. But yeah.
The,
KCP and
And
Bruce
now they
Brown,
have the
yeah.
the
personnel
scary
to be
thing
able to
about
help
this,
Jokic on defense and not allow him to get exposed. Because in the past, the reason why they struggled is because they didn't have guys to like fight over screens. They set a
Right.
screen, and if you don't have guys that could fight over the screen, then you have
Yeah.
to switch that. That's why Jokic kept getting killed on those pick and rolls because they'll just force him to switch, and obviously it's a mismatch. But now they
Yeah.
have guys like KCP, Bruce Brown. Those guys are gonna fight over the screen. They're gonna get over
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
screen, and they're gonna keep that matchup, and that's huge because then Jokic doesn't have to switch out. He can stay there, stay on their matchups, and that's huge. And
Yeah.
that's why
Yeah.
their defense has been so good against the Suns, man. They've
Yeah.
been doing everything they can to keep those matchups, and it's worked so far. And
Yeah.
that they look like easy favorites. They look phenomenal right
the
now. I
scary
love their
Yeah.
team
thing
right now.
is they
I
have
love them
not
coming
had
into the playoffs.
they have not had a great game altogether. Joker didn't have a great first game. Murray went off. Murray had a terrible game. The fact that Murray went 2
Yeah.
for 12 from the 3-point line and the Suns still lose, that's
Yeah.
scary.
He had a big shot in the fourth quarter of that. It was actually one of the biggest shots of the game. So yeah, shout out to Jamal Murray though.
And think about
Still,
it,
still just wanted to win.
MPJ have not been playing great either. He's shooting like 30%
Yeah.
right now from the
Yeah, he
field.
hasn't been shooting like that. Yeah, that's
So it's like
he hasn't been shooting.
if
Yeah,
the
He has
Nuggets
improved on
get it
defense, like what
together,
AD said though. He's
game
really bought in
3,
on defense.
yeah, he
He's
has
not
brought
like
it in.
he's not an elite defender by any means, but he's not as bad as he used to be in the past
Oh
when he was
yeah,
just
yeah.
terrible.
if the
As
I think
he's like
Nuggets
yeah,
closer to average now, which is huge compared to being
definitely,
like
if the
a
Nuggets
complete
win
liability.
if the
definitely.
Nuggets can all come together, game 3, everyone have a good game. It might be the Brooms. The Brooms are coming, KD. The
I mean, could
Brooms
it be
are
a
coming.
back-to-back sweep for KD? Could it happen? Left's just predicting it
I
will
can see
happen.
it, man. If they lose game 3 again, that's gonna deflate them, and I think
Yeah,
It's
Nuggets just
over.
come out, steamroll them, and it's
yeah.
over, man. And I could see it, man. I could see
Well,
it.
I can't see it, but yeah,
The
I don't think Suns are going out
Broomies.
that way. But I mean, let's see what Chris Paul if he's gonna play and see
I
what
mean,
happens.
kind of what I was talking about before. I mean, before we preview the series, man, it's gonna be up to Aiden and Jokic. Aiden's just not. I don't know what it is with him, man. I don't know if it's a thing. I think during the offseason that really hurt him. The whole rumors of him leaving and the situation. I think that really hurt him because he's looked checked out all year. I think either that
Yeah.
or he and Monty Williams' relationship had like just been crushed to
Yep.
no repair because he's looked. I don't know what it is this year. He's been checked out all year. He does not look engaged in any way throughout the whole course of the season, especially this series. Like
Yeah, you can
Jokic has been
tell.
killing them, and even on defense, on offense. I mean, for the Suns, they're just taking advantage of him.
Hmm.
The Nuggets have been forcing him to make plays. They'll
Yeah.
play so deep on those pick and rolls, making sure Booker doesn't come off,
Right.
KD doesn't come off, Chris Paul. But Aiden, they're letting him. They're giving him that
Yeah.
mid range. They're forcing him. They're saying, "Hey, make a play, shoot this shot, make a pass, like do
Yeah.
something." We're pretty much like, "Hey, you can beat us if you want to," but he doesn't want to. So I don't know
Yeah.
what
In college, that was
I
easy
don't know
too.
what's
He would do
going
that
on
in
there.
college all day, every day. But now you could tell he's just not ready for the moment right now. Like you said, all year he's been checked out. I agree. Yeah, Lester has the Nuggets though. Lester has the Nuggets favorite out the West. Seabass, how are you feeling? How are you? Who's the best coming out the West right now? The best in the West.
This is tough, man. This is tough. I love the Nuggets. I
Right.
think if I had to if I had to bet my house on it, I would definitely pick the
Yeah, yeah.
Nuggets right now.
Right. The
But
Nuggets.
I'm no longer a betting man, so
Yeah,
I
that's
will take
good.
my
That's good.
chances.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go with the Lakers.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, some biases in there,
They're
but
losing by 20.
I think I think we've seen flashes of brilliance with this team. I think this team, the highs are high. The highs are a championship level team. We've seen that. We saw it in game 1. We've seen it in I think game 3 against the Grizzlies. We saw it the last game in the Grizzlies when we eliminated them. The
Yeah.
highs are high, man. The highs are a championship level team. The lows are low though. Just like today right now, we're playing terrible.
Yeah.
And the lows are maybe a 9, 10, 8th seed level team, which is where we were for most of the year. So it's just a high spectrum. But if everyone buys in, AD stays healthy, I can see a world where we continue to play well. If we beat the Warriors, get that momentum, because we match up
Right.
really well with the Nuggets too. AD versus Jokic is a good matchup. We got LeBron versus MPJ or Aaron Gordon. Probably most likely Gordon. Probably Vanderbilt's gonna end up guarding Jamal Murray. Like we match up really well with them, and I feel like we can beat them, and we have in the past. Obviously, this is a different Nuggets team like we're talking about, but
Yeah.
I feel
A
really
former
good
Laker,
about the
JCP.
matchups.
One time maybe a champion.
Yeah, former Laker. He should have never left. We shouldn't have traded him for Russell Trashbrook. We still would have had him. But
Yeah, yeah. Lakers,
like I said,
man.
I think the Lakers have a good blend, man. I think their defense is scary. You look at Game 1, how they played the Warriors. I think they just have so much length. The only thing that worries me about the Lakers is the shooting, because the shooting is terrible, and it's hard to win in today's NBA without shooting. I think that's why the Nuggets are a safer pick, because they're the perfect blend of both defense, offense. They have everything, shot creation, all that stuff.
Yeah.
We
Really,
have shot
big man.
creation, yeah, and they have good size too. We have shot creation, we have decent shooting, we have playmaking, we have good defense, perimeter defense, interior defense. We have everything except for shooting. So if we can, that's why guys like D'Lo, guys like Austin Rivers, Austin Reeves,
Austin Rivers.
AR-15, guys like those guys are so huge for us, because they need to make shots because the spacing's already bad. LeBron's shooting like 15% from three in the playoffs, which is terrible. Jared Vanderbilt's not a good shooter.
Vandy.
AD's not a floor spacer, but you need these guys to hit shots, because if they're not hitting shots, nobody else literally is gonna hit shots. Shooter, we got Hashimura who can hit some threes occasionally, but nobody else on the team, because Malik Beasley's not playing because he stinks. Nobody else on the team besides Dillon
Freaks.
and Rivers are really hitting threes, so those guys need to be hitting threes. So it's a bit of an optimistic pick. Obviously, a homer pick as a Laker fan. You see my jersey here. I wore it last episode too. So
Yeah.
it's a homer pick. Obviously, it's a best case scenario. Everything would have to go right for the Lakers, and they would have to really lock in to make it that point. But I'm banking on the upside. I'm banking on the potential. And like I said, I'm not betting my house on it. I have no stakes in it. So why not throw it out there?
Yeah,
If
yeah.
it happens, it looks good. Hey, I called it. If it doesn't, no one expected them to win. So
Yeah.
like I said, I think I can see it happening. Is it likely? Probably not. Would I love to see it? Of course. But, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I really want the Lakers too. I really do. I really want LeBron to get another one. Would love it. I would love to see a parade in LA. But I gotta go.
Facts. I need a parade, man. I need a parade.
Yeah, I would
They
love a
robbed us.
parade. I would love
COVID
it.
robbed me of a parade, man. That was
We're
insane. The
robbed in the
one time
2020 parade. Yeah, we
the
were
first
robbed.
time
LA was robbed.
where I'm alive and able to go to a parade, man. Last time we had the parade, I was 9 and 10. I just started watching basketball. That was a little kid. There's no way. And then before that, 2001 and two, I was literally like 1 year old.
You
There's
guys
no way
wasn't
I was
even
going to a
walking
parade.
yet. That boy.
I
Oh
wasn't even
man.
walking. I was in diapers. Like, come on, man. That was
Yeah.
the first time we could have had a legit parade. They could have at least done something, man. They really gave us something. At least the next year, man. That was
Yeah.
terrible.
Dang. Yeah, I love the Lakers. I really want LeBron to win. I do. But I'm going Denver though. I'm going Denver. That team is crazy. That team is deep. We've
Yeah.
been we already talked about it, Seabass off
Like I
the
said, I
team
would have
before the
picked
year
Denver,
started.
man.
Yeah.
Denver is phenomenal. They have everything, man. I love
Oh,
Denver.
Yeah.
and they're
Bruce
better
Brown,
than
KCP.
they're better than any East team coming out right now. I think if
Oh, we
Denver
talking
go to
about
the
the West. We talking
finals,
about the
Oh,
West
yeah.
right now. Hold on. Hold
but
on.
I'm just
I don't
saying
want to.
Denver look like the best team in the
Yeah.
NBA.
I'm not gonna put Denver against the Heat right now, but I'm talking about Denver. But I will say, not gonna put
AD's
Denver
got
against the
Denver
Heat
versus
right
Heat
now. I'm not
finals.
gonna do that. But I will say Christian Brown. We gotta give Christian Brown some credit. He's playing
Shout
some
out Christian
big.
Brown.
Shout out Christian Brown. He's playing some huge minutes. Like I was high on him at Kansas too. I was like, he's gonna be a really solid player. But I didn't think he would be solid like a solid this early. Like playoffs, first year rookie. Like he's playing some
I didn't
phenomenal
know.
minutes. Guarding
I will
KD
say I
too.
didn't know
Guarding
his
KD.
defense was this good,
Yeah, I didn't know he
because
was
I,
this
I
good
was
either.
like, he can be like a 3-and-D light. I like to call them guys that are good, like really good 3-point shooters, and they're
Yeah.
okay. They're passable on defense.
Right.
Kind of
Right.
guys like in your Luka Nard, Grayson Allen kind of role. Like they're
Exactly.
okay enough on defense to pass, but they're
Yeah.
elite shooters, so they make up for it. I thought he was more in that mold, but
Yep.
he's looking like he's gonna be a legit 3-and-D wing for a long time, because this
Definitely.
guy
Yeah.
is really good on defense, man.
Yeah. Oh,
And I mean, it makes sense because he's super athletic too,
he
but he
is.
just didn't show
They
it that
forget
much in
that. They
Kansas.
forget that he is athletic. Yeah. Like, he's
He's
gonna
got
be
some
huge.
bounce on him.
He's gonna be huge for the Denver's future. I mean, Let's just
He
say,
has good size. He's like 6'6". He has like
yeah,
legit size. He's not small. He looks small because he's skinny, but he's like legit 6'6".
he is. He's taking the assignment of guarding KD in the playoffs too. Like he's not
Yeah,
afraid at the moment. You know, Mike Malone's is trusting him, and he's delivering. Got to give Christian Brown some credit. Also want
he's
to
been huge.
He's been huge. Also want to allude on just the veteran leadership in the locker room. DeAndre Jordan, I know he doesn't play, but just having him in the locker room is huge for this team. It's big. Like I tell you guys all the time, veteran leadership is big in the NBA. Like Udonis
Oh
Haslam
yeah,
with the Miami Heat, like that's big. Like they need him there. Like he's a crucial
Jeff
part.
Green.
Jeff Green, like,
They got Ish
I
Smith.
forgot about Jeff Green. Ish Smith, Reggie Jackson. I forgot about these
They got
guys.
some
Like
vets.
they got some great vets this year. It's the best unit that's ever been put around the Joker. Best vest has been put around the Joker. This is the team. We said it before the season started. This is the team that's gonna that can make noise. This is it right here. And we're gonna see what the Joker does, man. We're gonna see what the Joker does with Murray, Denver. Lepster's calling out a sweep against the Suns. We're gonna see. But yeah, man. Lepster got
Yeah,
the Nuggets. Yeah, what were you gonna say? See best?
yeah. Quick point. Quick point. Going
Yeah,
back to
yeah.
Christian Brown.
Christian
It's
Brown,
just
man.
hats off to the Nuggets GM. I do not know his name off the top of my head, but they had a fantastic offseason, man. They've
Yeah.
been missing for the last couple of years, 3-and-D wings. They got three legit 3-and-D wings in the offseason. They got KCP,
Yeah.
Bruce Brown, and then you drafted Christian Brown, dude. Like
Yeah,
three of
yeah.
them in one offseason when they didn't have him for the last 3-4 years is
Right.
crazy. Huge pickups for them. Absolutely huge.
Yeah. It's amazing, man. Shout out to the Nuggets. Shout out to Kansas, man, for bringing in Christian Brown. But
They got a new guy, Grady Dick,
yeah.
in the draft.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, man.
He's in a similar mold to
Yeah.
Christian Brown, but a
I
little bit taller,
agree.
6'8".
No, I agree. I agree. But yeah, Lester has the Nuggets. Seabass has the Lakers, and I have the Nuggets coming out the West. But
Seabass
yeah,
kinda have the Lakers, kind of.
kind
His
of,
heart,
nah, he
I'm
has,
surprised no one picked the Warriors.
his heart
I would
has
have
the
picked the
Lakers.
Warriors
yeah, not
if they
mad.
weren't. Yeah, it's more like my heart. I'm
Yeah,
like half and half. I got the Nuggets,
all right.
but my heart has the
Yeah,
Lakers.
you heard the Lakers. All right,
I'm
all right.
surprised no one picked the Warriors though. I would have picked the Warriors if they weren't going against us, but
Yeah, man, that wasn't a pick. I don't think the Warriors got enough pieces.
defending champs.
Like I know I said like they have enough. I think Warriors have enough pieces. Like against the Kings, I feel like they had enough pieces. But to win it all, I don't think they have enough pieces. I don't think this team is as
Yeah.
good as the
And
last team that
Jordan
won
Poole
last year.
keeps shooting like that, they're not going to win nothing. Jordan Poole thought he was Steph Curry, pulled up on 30
Hold
feet.
on, man. Hold on. Jordan Poole was 6 for 11 from three that game too. That game one.
Jordan Poole smells.
Give Jordan Poole some credit.
You
Jordan
can't,
Poole, he was
but
shooting the ball well.
you can't take that shot. You can't take that shot, unfortunately.
We talking about the Jordan Poole shot. Jordan Poole was making that in college. He was making that in high school. He's been shooting those his whole life. So that shot was not a bad
It
shot.
wasn't.
I don't
It
know if
wasn't
it was
as
bad.
bad
It
of a
wasn't a bad
shot.
shot at all.
It wasn't as bad of a shot as a lot of people were saying, but he definitely should have stepped in at least like 1 or 2 steps forward,
It
one or
was,
2 feet in at
he
least,
didn't have
and he
time.
probably could have made that.
He didn't have time. The Lakers were playing some great D right there. That he had to shoot that.
Oh yeah,
But
It's
that
but
a
he
shot
could
great
have
was
shot.
stepped up before he caught the ball. He could have walked into that. Like there was so much space there, and he could have caught
Never
it
know what
and
could have
then
happened
got it.
after that. I don't know. I think he took the right shot. Just like Jimmy Butler
It
took the
wasn't a
right
bad
shot.
shot. You have to take that shot because you're
Yeah.
not gonna get a better look with the clock winding down. But
Yeah.
definitely, you gotta have the awareness to looking like, all right, let me step at least a little bit closer, get a little bit of a higher
Yeah.
percentage shot because he had so much space. But
Hey,
like I said, it wasn't as bad of a
yeah.
shot as a lot of people were saying.
Yeah, you live with those. You live with those shots. It's an open look though. You live with these NBA player. Make shots like that is
In
up
that
there.
game, it wasn't a
Yeah.
bad shot. You got to live with it because he was hot
Yeah.
that game. But
It
any
was
other
game
game where
seven
he's
though. Yeah,
his
like
normal trash stuff this year, that was a
right.
terrible shot.
Yeah. I mean, Jordan Poole is literally known for that shot he shot against Michigan. On Michigan, excuse me. He was playing for Michigan. That shot he shot in the
That
tournament.
was practically the reason he got drafted.
That was the reason he got drafted. That
Because I
was
did
the
not
reason,
expect him
yeah.
to get drafted that year, and he
I
got
told
drafted
you
in
he
the
was
first
getting
round.
drafted. I
I
told
was
you he was
so
getting
shocked.
drafted. Yeah.
I was so surprised he got drafted that year.
Jordan Poole, man. I was throwing a party when he got drafted. A pool party, by the way. But yeah.
Pool party.
Yeah.
Speaking of the draft, while we're on the topic, real quick,
Yeah.
I remember when we were watching that draft, Tyler Hero gets drafted. AD did not like the pick at the time. I'll never forget that.
Yeah,
That was
it's
too
true.
funny.
I think I was counting Kevin Porter Jr. a lot that year. So I think that's why I was more on his side than Tyler Hero. But yeah. It's okay. Hey,
Yeah,
Tyler
man.
Hill's working out for us
He was
now.
still
I
ahead
love
of
Tyler
LeBron.
Hero. I love Tyler Hero. I wasn't mad at the pick like that, like Seabass alluded to, but
And he will still invite Tyler Hero to the
yeah.
podcast.
Oh yeah, I love Tyler Hero. I love him a lot. I didn't want to trade Tyler Hero for James Harden or Donovan Mitchell. I wanted to keep him. You guys do that, but
Would you replace? Would you redo it? Would you still want Kevin Porter Jr. over Tyler Hero?
oh no, hell no, hell no. I don't want Kevin Porter Jr. right now. He sucks. He reeks. I mean, he's in Houston right
I
now.
think they're
Like,
similar players.
nah,
I think Hero's just a better shooter, more consistent.
He's in Houston
Kevin
right now.
Porter's
You
a
can't
little bit
really
better
tell what.
playmaker.
Yeah,
They're
he's on,
similar mold players though.
he's on a
I
bad
think
Houston
Kevin
team.
Porter
I can't really tell right now.
he's had some off court issues though for sure that
Yeah,
play into it.
Tyler Hero is definitely that's another conversation for another day. But Tyler Hero is definitely overpassed, if that's even a word. But he's definitely exceeded expectations over Kevin Porter Jr. has. But yeah, man, we get into this segment right now. It's a new segment we're working on, Picking Pop Podcast. It's called On to the Plus Side. Am I right? See, that's On to the Plus Side. And I'm gonna hand it over to Seabass. Seabass is gonna explain the rules, explain how it goes. But Seabass, take it over, man.
All right, yeah, it's a new segment we wanted to try out. Obviously want to bring some fresh ideas to the podcast. We're gonna be trying things out throughout the course of the span of the podcast. Of course, trying to find something that sticks, something that would resonate with you guys to just keep you guys interested, keep you guys involved, of course, as well. That we want to ideally involve you guys in the future. And so, yeah, this is our new segment we're gonna be trying out here called On the Plus Side. So what we're gonna be doing is taking your usual trivia concept, asking trivia questions. I'm gonna be asking Leb and AD three trivia questions. One of them is going to be pretty easy. One of them is going to be about medium, and one of them is going to be a little bit on the harder side for NBA knowledge. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to take, some basic NBA plus minus concept for those of you that are not aware. And the box scores after you watch a game, you can go online, check out the box score. You can see how many points a player has. But they also have a little stat called plus minus, usually on the right side. Pretty much it's just used to determine to try to sum up how good a player played, kind of trying to take into account all the impact they had besides scoring all that. Trying to make just tried to highlight guys that do a little bit more of off court stuff than show up in the stats. So try to give some love to those guys. The Alex Caruso's, Gary Payton's, guys like that. The impact the game.
Bam
Said
Adebayo.
Bam Adebayo, guys like that. The impact the game more than show up on the stats to give them some love. So how that works, like I said, the higher the score you have on the plus. So if you have a 10 plus minus, that means you did good. If you have a negative 10, that means you did bad. So pretty much we're gonna do that. Starting off at 0, it's gonna be a month-long
Get it
thing. At the
going.
end of the month, we're starting off at 0 here. So if they get a question wrong, let's say the first question, AD gets it wrong, he's gonna be at -1, and Leb gets it right, he'll be at +1. It's like that. We're gonna keep going. 3 questions every week, 4 podcasts a week. So at the end of the month, whoever has the highest plus minus wins. The one with the less is going to have a little punishment that we're going to have them do just to add a little bit more to the stakes. And then, like I said, ideally, as time goes on, we get some more people watching here. We're going to be able to have some input from you guys to be able to help us out, pick a punishment so we can go ahead and, just use that involvement, keep things fun and fresh and entertaining. So it should be fun, man. Let's try it
It'll
out.
be a good one. Yeah.
Seabass will not get
Like
punished.
I mean, look, we can do something to try to add me into it. Like I said, I don't mind getting
yeah.
in there, and we'll
I
see what the
think if
fans
me
want.
and
If they
AD
want,
get perfect scores, Seabass gets the punishment for the week.
we can do something like that. Like if you guys get like a perfect score or like a streak or something, we can think of some wrinkles. Like I said, we're still in the beginning stages. We're just trying to get the foundation started. But there's definitely, like I said, things are still going to be changing. There's nothing is set in stone right now. We're just trying things out right now, trying to see what sticks and not. But that's what we got for right now. So we'll see. Like I said, but that sounds good though. That sounds interesting. If you guys get like a certain amount, stuff like that, we'll talk about that more off podcast. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and get started.
Get it going. Yeah. I'm ready.
All right, you guys ready? Nervous? How are we feeling? How are we feeling?
Nah, not nervous. Let's do it. Lefster, how you
Not
feeling?
nervous.
I'm good. I'm good.
Lefter's good. Let's do it.
All right. So we're gonna start off here with what I'm gonna categorize as the easy question. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Now we're not gonna blurt out the answer. It's not a whoever gets it right first.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you guys about 5 seconds here. So you guys watching as well, if you're listening, you can take a couple seconds here. You guys can play along, see if you get it right or wrong. If you want to keep track of the score, maybe you guys can match up against AD and Lev, see how you guys match up at the end of the month, and then let us know. tweet at us. We got all our socials linked and everything. Just let us know how you guys score at the end of the month. See how you guys match up against AD and Lev. All right, first question. How many MVPs does LeBron have?
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna give you guys 5. A quick little countdown here for you folks on the audio. I mean for the video, sorry, on YouTube. 2, 1.
I
The
don't
clock
know.
is over. All right. You guys have to have your answers in.
How do we say our answers?
In the count of 2,
How do we say
in the
it?
count of 2, you guys are gonna say your answers at the same time, so there's no stealing or nothing.
Gotcha.
So on 1, 2, go.
5.
3. Left side says 3.
5.
All right.
AD.
So left says 3. AD says 5. And the answer is right in the middle at a sharp 4.
I
We
knew
both got negative.
Right there,
knew
man.
it
You guys
for
were
it,
both
dude.
on the opposite side of the spectrum.
I think it was 2
Right
with the
there.
Cavs, 2 with the Heat, I think, right?
I think he won 3 with the Cavs, maybe. I'm not sure.
With the
I don't know
Cavs?
exactly.
Okay.
But that was a close one, man.
That's a tough one. All right.
All right. Moving on to the second one here. This is going to be what I'm going to call the medium.
We got the easy one
question.
wrong.
Hey, I mean, like I said, there's nothing.
Man.
We'll see how it goes. All right.
Let's get it going.
Who won the 2005 NBA championship? All right. The clock is up for you listening on the audio. We're going to be getting AD and Lev's answers here.
I got mine.
In 1, 2, go.
The Heat?
Detroit.
The Heat.
Detroit.
AD said
Detroit won.
AD said the Pistons.
The Pistons won in
and
04.
Levster says the Heat.
2004, the Pistons won.
The answer was the Spurs.
The
I wanted to go with the
Ah.
Spurs.
2004 was the
did
Pistons.
win. The Pistons won in 04. The Heat won in 06. Again, you guys were literally 1 year off.
Right
And
in
the
the
Spurs won in
middle.
2005. They played the
Wow.
Nets. And they beat them that year.
Yeah. Shout out to
Actually,
shout out
I
to
think they
Tim
played
Duncan.
the Pistons that year.
It was the
But
Pistons?
they won that year. I think it was the Nets.
I think it was
I gotta
Nets.
double check.
Yeah. If it was
Spurs,
Nets,
they
shout
won
out
their
to Kenyon Martin. Yeah.
Kenyon Martin,
Jason
Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
All right, and the last question. This is going to be the hard one. So 0 for 2 for today. So let's see how the hard one goes.
So,
wouldn't that be something if you guys end up getting the hard one right and then the other one too right?
Let's see.
Maybe we got to change the categories on this one. But let's go ahead and get things started here. The final question of the night. Who is the oldest player in NBA history to score 50-plus points in a game?
I got this one. I got it ready.
AD's got it. AD
got
feels
it ready.
good about
This
it.
is the one I got. Finally. Oh, man.
Let me repeat the question one more time since this is the last final one for the night. Who is the oldest player in NBA history to score over 50 points in a game?
Wow, I'm really about to get the hard one. I didn't get the easy one and the medium one. It's crazy.
All right. For those of you listening, we're about to get our answers here from AD and Lev in 1, 2, go.
Cal Malone.
Jamal Crawford.
What did you say, Lev?
Say Cal Malone.
Karl Malone. All right. Let's see. The answer is, drum roll, please.
Bro.
AD is on the board. It was Jamal Crawford.
Yep.
It was the last game of the season with the
Suns.
Timberwolves. He dropped.
It was with the
That was with the
Suns.
Suns? I thought it was with the Timberwolves.
Nah,
but
I think
it was the last game of the season. I remember that. He dropped 50 points.
Against the Mavericks. It was against the Mavericks.
At a ripe 39 years old, Jamal Crawford.
Yeah.
How old was Cal Malone when he got
Mavericks.
50? Wasn't he like 38 or something?
Let me see. It says second was Michael Jordan at 38, Kobe at 37, LeBron at 37,
okay,
Alex English at 35. LeBron's probably going to pass that at some point. I'm sure at some point in the future he's going to get it. But yeah, that was it for that new segment. That was pretty fun. Get a taste of it, get a general understanding of how the game goes. Right now, the standings are AD with -1 and Lev with -3.
Yeah.
So
on the plus side.
Yeah. On the plus side. Hey, let's see if AD gets on the plus side next week.
On the plus side,
AD have minus So that makes sense.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Pick and Pop
So yeah,
podcast,
making
man.
sure you guys. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You got it. Go ahead. Go ahead, see, man.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, like I said, if you guys are keeping track, you guys play along. I give you guys a 5 second pause. Go ahead and get your answers out.
Yeah.
Stay true to yourself. Don't cheat yourself. It's all for fun, man. Keep track, play along, see how you guys match up against 11 AD. Tweet at us, Instagram, DM us, TikTok. Wherever you guys are, we got all our socials, LinkedIn. Keep up with us and let us know how you guys are matching up. It's gonna be a fun little thing.
Yeah, definitely gonna be a good one. Lester, man. Lester's got the Nuggets, man. Lester's got the Joker. I can't believe it. Seabass got the Lakers, and yeah, man. I got the Heat, man. It's just great night of basketball, great playoffs. Pick and Pop podcast, though. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Adon. We have Seabass right here, aka Sebastian, aka Blessed. We have Lebster,
Sure.
aka Lobster, aka Lev Sakarovsky. Thank you for tuning in. See y'all soon.
Appreciate it. Have a good one, y'all. See you next week.